Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mitchie of USTP Oroquieta, and I'm sharing with you my experiences on the power of open-ended questions. According to Francis Kingdon Ward, questions are creative acts of intelligence. Basically, there are two types of questions: the closed and open-ended questions. Closed-ended questions are useful when you need a prompt answer. These are usually easy to answer because the choices are limited. So this can be very useful in fact-finding scenarios such as research. So examples of it could be you asking what is your name or which university did you go. Furthermore, closed-ended questions can be asked to identify a certain piece of information, again with a limited set of answers. So these could be answerable by a yes or no. For example, when your student asks, have you answered your assignment in math? Or have you brought the ingredients for activity later? Or among set of multiple choice questions such as those answerable by the Likert scale. No, where we rate 1 to 5, where 1 means strongly disagree and 5 for strongly agree. Or the star rating, the one we do when we review products or services from Shopee, TikTok, or Lazada. In contrast, open-ended questions allow for much longer or more detailed response from the students and therefore potentially provide more creativity and information. So unlike closed-ended questions, open questions are questions that cannot be simply answered by a yes or no. It usually answers the hows, whys, or whats. So for example, when the student asks, Ma'am, nganong nawala di itong x squared? Or mayon tong student, Sir, giunsa din mo tong algorithm nga naman nga ma-determine man niya ang age sa user. However, the problem with students nowadays is that they usually don't ask questions. So after your discussion and mangutana ka, any questions class or any clarifications, they'll just answer you with no ma'am or none so far ma'am. But then sa quiz or sa exam ning tiurok di ay. So basically, we all know that there are a lot of factors that affect student learning. It could be the nature of the subject, perhaps it's too technical to the point that the student's interest is no longer in that subject. Or the teaching strategies being implemented by the instructor. So perhaps you need to change or modify it a bit. Or the voice quality of the instructor. So some instructors, basin hinay kayo og tingog, no, dili ganahan maminaw ang student, mawala yung attention, mag-cellphone ra sa likod. Or basin paspas pud kayo mistorya ang instructor na mapuan pud og apas ang student. So yes, those are just some of the factors that affect student learning. So most of the times we know that at the end of the semester, no, we realize that at the end of the semester when we receive our faculty evaluation. So na dito mo comment si student nga, Sir, busy kayo ka sir, pagklase pod sir. Or, Ma'am, kusgi pod imong tingog ma'am, hinay kay kag tingog dili mi kasabot sa imong klase. Or Sir, please give more examples next time sir, kay dili mi kasabot sa imong klase. No? So going back, it is important to build trust between the instructor and the students. A little smile can already brighten up their day. Dili kay sayo pa lang sa buntag naninghag na si sir. Or pagsulod pa lang sa klase, nagmugtok na ang naong ni ma'am. No, because that could be very intimidating to the part of the students. Like di sila ganahan maminaw, di sila ganahan mangutana kay dili ka approachable. Samot nga molas ang ilahang engagement sa imong klase. So over time, once trust is built, no, in a safe and fun learning environment, students feel safe to share, no, and then they start asking questions. And when they start asking questions, knowing that they're gonna be acknowledged by the instructor and classmates. So usually wala pa ginahuman ng imuhang klase, no, kamulo pa kag-discuss, nanay ning interrupt ning nanay mangutana. No, like time sa class ha, manung sa nato nitong discussion matubag ra lagi na ang inyuhang question. So relax lang sa amo din ha. Okay, so mostly they start asking closed-ended questions just to confirm, no, the knowledge that they just obtained at that very moment sa imong lecture. And then later on, they feel comfortable, then they start asking, no, open-ended questions. So open-ended questions will follow. So which are actually sensible most of the times. So sometimes the students get so engaged in class that they were able to raise some clarifications. Like naay mangutana, one time sa akong chemistry class, someone asked, Ma'am, Di ba ma'am, ang 2,4-dimethyl, it means nga ang imuhang methyl naka-attach sa carbon 2 and carbon 4. Sa imuha laging gisulat ma'am, kay nalagi siya sa 3 ug 5. So mauto siya no, napa-review ng pinabongga si ma'am. So together with the whole class, we review the steps 1, 2, 3 until we found out na nasayop di ay, nasipyat di ay pag-ihap si ma'am. So at that very moment, I felt very proud and happy because I know the students were learning. They're really paying attention to my discussion, and I know na bisan pagbali-balihon sila, maka-answer gid sila sa any problem regarding sa amuang topic. Okay, so why is it important to ask open-ended questions? So basically, asking open-ended questions encourage students to think critically and nurture their problem-solving abilities. Like I had thesis advisees before who studied juice, out of blue ternate flowers. So during consultation, they showed me the product and raised the concern. They said, "Ma'am, katoy bitaw nagluto mi ani ma'am kay color blue ang product. But then pag add na mo sa lemon ning violet, ngano ka to ma'am?" So of course, as the advisor, I just didn't feed them with the information, nor tell them the reason behind it because it's for them to find out as researchers. But knowing that in their curriculum, bitilad curriculum, they don't have chemistry, so they don't have background in chemistry. So I just dropped them some questions, as hint. So I asked them, what do you think are the characteristics of blue ternate flowers that might cause that change in color? Or what are the conditions or what are the effects of the conditions you set? Like from preparation, cooking, and storage. What was its effect on your product? So after several days, the students came back to me with answers. So I'm happy because they found out the answers. So after reviewing several research articles, they told me na, "Ma'am, the blue ternate flowers, it contains anthocyanins, which is responsible for its naturally vibrant blue color. So it changes color at different pH, temperature, and is also sensitive to light." So I was very happy because they learned something. I know they learned something. And it actually reflected on my faculty evaluation. Like, they said na happy kay sila, thankful sila because they learned something from me. It's their first time also nga makasulay gid ako nung mag-experiment. So they really enjoyed our research. Okay, so with that, furthermore, open-ended questions foster creativity and imagination. So another importance is that open-ended questions, it fosters creativity and imagination. So some of the ways in which educators can help students bring out their creativity is by giving them space and also encouraging them to take risks, active learning, and recognizing their work, and many more. So before, I had an STS subject. So our topic was about intellectual revolutions. So I asked them to perform a creative presentation out of per group, So I assigned them with topics on intellectual revolutions. So my students find it difficult to move around the chem lab because that time chem lab was turned into a lecture room kay wala may chemistry subjects before. So my students said, "Ma'am, it's so difficult to move around here. How are we gonna perform? So how about we go outside?" So together we went outside and we found a nice spot. So it was under a mango tree. Kuna pa may mango tree sa una. So I saw in their faces that they were so happy, they were very delighted, and in fact, they used the tree, the grass, the ground, and all other materials around us as their props. So they were very resourceful. And I was so happy because I know that they were able to present, nindot yun ilang presentation. Overall, they have presented a refreshing and creative performance as they were able to move freely. So, na uban gasayaw-sayaw, gadagandagan, ang uban ning hapa jud pod sa kasagbutan. So now, I only have 2 tips to share with you on how to ask open-ended question. So first, is transform any question into an open-ended question. So instead of asking, "Isn't it a nice day?" How about you ask, "How was your day?" Now, see the difference? Or instead of asking, "Do you like your math instructor?" How about you ask, "How would you describe your math instructor?" Number 2, in case na makapangutama na mo og close-ended question, make sure to follow it up with an open-ended one. Like, which part of the activity do you want to improve and why? Or is it really nice or is it really important to take this subject? Why? diba? So indeed, there is power in asking open-ended questions as we get to extract more significant responses from the students. With this type of questions, we'll be able to feel them, connect with them, and understand them more. So to my fellow instructors and professors, I'd like to quote Eugene Ionesco, "It is not the answer that enlightens, but the question." So good afternoon once again, and thank you for listening.